Well, hello, my beautiful Cancerians. Welcome to my channel. This is Baba Jolie here with your career or money reading for the end of February right through the end of March 2024. I've already cleansed your space and I've meditated on your cards. For those of you who are returning, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for all your wonderful likes, shares, and subscribes. I am truly grateful for all your beautiful energy. Just a little reminder though, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one reading, just so you're aware. Also, please be mindful, scammers are about to pretend to be me and lots of other tarot readers. I do not do personal readings. I do not take your money, e-gifts, donations. I'm not on Facebook, WhatsApp, PayPal, Telegram, or Patreon. I will never ask you for your credit card details. I'll never ask for personal details. And I'll also never give you a cell phone number to call. So if anyone masquerading as me asks for anything at all, please report them or ignore them. It is a scam, okay? Let's move straight on with your reading. I'm going to cleanse your space hourly, so please be mindful there's going to be 3 loud sounds. Let us begin. Okay, my beautiful Cancerians, this is your career and money reading. I'm going to get all of your cards first before I connect to an outcome. So let us begin. Thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels. Can you please guide my beautiful Cancerians? What do they need to know regarding their career and money situation? Can you please guide them for their highest good? What are they meant to see? Thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels. Can you please guide my beautiful Cancerians? What do they need to know regarding their career and money? Can you please guide them for their highest good? What are they meant to be aware of? Okay, so I can definitely see that you have a turn of luck going on in your career, but ultimately I see that it's going to be a very productive time for you. You're going to be very busy over the next coming weeks. I actually see you working really hard, and some of you may have felt like you're exhausted. Some of you may have felt that you've been a little bit stuck in a rut. Even though we're in like the middle of February, you may feel like it's the same old thing, just a different day, and you may be looking at repetitive routines or cycles in your life right now to intuitively either change your approach in your career or actually open yourself up to a new avenue there as well. Okay, how would you like to receive? Okay. Now, with the 10 of Pentacles in the resistance position, some of you may feel like you offer a lot in your career, but you may feel like you're not being paid what you feel you truly are worth at this time. And you're really looking at that sense of value as well. So I do see that there is like a lucrative opportunity coming in to increase your finances, but I'll go deeper on it in a moment. I just need to see what else is coming out there for you. We've got the Judgment card. I'm strongly getting an energy that some of you will revisit something in your career. Now, this could be that you have to go back over something in the next 6 weeks, or it could also indicate that, some of you may revisit a career sector or a job that you used to love doing, something that you really feel is your true life's mission and calling there. Because I feel like you're looking at impact, how you make an impact in your career, but ultimately it's about following your heart. Of course, money is a factor. Don't get me wrong. The 10 of Pentacles there can indicate that some of you, you're looking at money right now and you feel that perhaps there's just enough coming in to keep you going, but you are trying to increase your finances at this time, and I feel like you're looking at your options, okay? Now, we do have, also, I do want to quickly apologize for my voice. Sometimes it's going to be really weird over this reading, okay, because I've come down with one of those seasonal colds, and I'm just, really fighting a sore throat at the moment, okay? So basically my voice earlier was like really low and croaky, and now it's like in and out. Sometimes it's going to be high, sometimes it's going to be low, and sometimes going to cough, and I'm probably going to silence those moments, but you'll probably see them on camera. So I'll just let you know what could possibly happen before we start. Anyway, let's move forward. The Empress energy indicates that you are going to be highly creative. Some of you have already got things in motion that you're working on right now, and things are just ticking over, but you're looking for the point where you can start to see, the payoff, as it were, because you're putting so much effort in there. Now, the 7 of Cups with the, Knight of Cups there, it can indicate that you're trying to follow your heart, and you're looking at, basically all your skill set and how you can blend those energies in order to make your dreams and visions become a reality. I mean, the Knight of Cups indicates you have a lot to offer your career sector, whatever it is that you do, and you want to do something that you love, okay? Because you spend so much time in the working environment, you may as well do something that you really enjoy. And if you feel like you're not right now, I feel like you certainly will be shortly. There's something to celebrate here, but I feel some of you, you may enjoy what you do, but you may feel like the money is off. And right now you're looking at alternative situations where you can increase. Now, I do see for some of you beautiful Cancerians out there, there is potential for a promotion, okay? But I feel like it's somewhat been delayed, or it may have been like just stuck in translation, but I can see that things start really moving ahead towards the end of March into April, okay? So if someone has promised you either more money in your current circumstances, or you're expecting a promotion but nothing's happened yet, or, I mean, it could be a raise in your finances in accordance with like inflation. I feel it comes on the cusp of March, April time for you. And I feel things start moving in the right direction. But ultimately, you're valuing your skill set. You have so much potential. And some of you may feel that you've hit some sort of plateau in your career and you're looking for alternative options right now because you really are a pro at what you do. You're really good at what you do. The Empress energy, male or female, it's not a gender specific reading. It's really an indication that you've established yourself as someone who is really talented, really gifted, and someone who is willing to go that extra mile for your career. But you are kind of looking at the money and thinking, well, yeah, you're really productive, you pay a lot of attention to detail, and you are working really hard. However, where's the reflection in the pay at the moment? So some of you may actually decide to, move into a new position, and it may mean that you are deciding to partner up with either a new company, or some of you may even decide to launch your own business because we do have the Lovers card there, which means some of you have a big decision to make in your career, but this decision could be that you're following your true life's mission and purpose, and it can indicate that some of you are deciding to become an entrepreneur and start that business up on your own. And there could even be an energy of duality here where you do something long-term that involves a contract, but also something on the side. Now, a lot of signs are actually getting a very similar energy right now. So it can be that, not only are we all kind of seeing prices rising in life, in everyday circumstances, but also you may notice that the job market, there are some opportunities out there, and really awesome opportunities, because there's going to be a bit of a reshuffle in the job market, people moving around, so this is a prime time where people may leave a position in order to embrace something new. Some of you may even wait for a bonus that is coming in on that cusp, March, April time, and once that has come in, if you're lucky enough to be in a company that is going to give a bonus, I see some of you moving on to something more lucrative or something more exciting later on there. You may be biding your time. But because we have so many fluctuations in the economy at the moment, I feel some of you are really looking at job stability, and you may be thinking about new ideas of how to utilize your creative natural skills in order to launch something that you can be in control of. So this could be something that you're doing from the home space, something that perhaps you may put up on an online platform. I mean, it could even be that you are mentoring, because I'm really getting a sense here that you have a lot of knowledge that you've gained. I feel like you are really mature in the arena that you work in. And that doesn't mean, that you are older, although it can mean it. It can mean some of you are thinking about retirement or looking at your pension. But the main energy I've got is that you have a lot of knowledge. You have a lot of experience in whatever it is that you do. And you know what you have to offer. You are valuing your skill set. And this came up briefly in one of the other readings. I'm not really sure which one. It may have been the Taurian reading. I mean, that wouldn't be a surprise because this is a Libra Taurus card. And even though you are a water element, my beautiful Cancerians, it can indicate that you are embodying that empowerment, that you have a plan, and that you are really looking at your sense of value. And, you're giving birth to new ideas. And you may feel that looking at your skill set, it's almost like you're overqualified for the job that perhaps you have right now. And I feel sometimes, management or hierarchical figures, they tend to say, that someone is overqualified because they just don't want to pay them for the skill set. You're really gifted, you're really talented, and you may feel that somehow there's more work coming onto you. Some of you may even see like people leaving. There may be some downsizing in companies, even brands that we've known for quite some time. The next couple of years, there's going to be a lot of mergers, there's going to be a lot of restructure, and there's also going to be a lot of downsizing going on there. I see you securing a position, so I feel like there's nothing really for you to worry about there, my beautiful Cancerians. And for those wonderful Cancerians who have currently, found themselves without a job and are currently searching, I feel recognizing what you have to offer is half the battle, because I feel some of you may be interviewing at this time. So if you're looking for a new opportunity or you've decided to look elsewhere for new work, I definitely see there is one coming in that has more status, more responsibility. There's something here about reputation as well, that you're passionate and that you're going to command a really great role where the pay reflects the skill set that is required, okay? So I definitely see some of you have been searching to transform your environment in some way. Now, because I've got this energy here, which is Knight of Cups, there is like you falling in love with your job, or you kind of enjoy what you do and you have a lot to offer, but you're dreaming of more, or you're dreaming of other possibilities just to keep your career fresh. So this could be that you're opening yourself up to some sort of learning, some sort of upskilling there, but also the Knight of Cups can indicate that you're following your bliss. Some of you, you may have come as far as you can in the role that you're in, and you're deciding to go to pastures new and, connect more to your life's purpose mission. For some of you, it could be that you're thinking about retiring. I'm really definitely picking up on that. But the Knight of Cups, when you actually apply it to a reading, it's really interesting because I'm getting this energy of this card, which is like, you follow your heart, okay? Don't focus on the money. Money will flow from when you're in a position to do something that is emotionally fulfilling for yourself. However, I'm also getting a song right now that kind of contradicts that energy. So I have to give you what I'm being given. I'll always be honest and say, you know what? Sometimes these conflicting energies come out. So it could be that, 1 minute you're like, I really want to do something that, is connected to my true north, that is connected to my life purpose. But sometimes it can be really hard and exhausting to do your passion project. And, sometimes we may need to take a job that perhaps pays the bills, that, gives us a substantial amount of money to keep us financially stable, paying all the rent and all of the things and looking after our family. So some of you may be looking at that sense of duality, like having two streams of income, or it could be that, actually money's really important, but I feel like you've got to pick your time of when to connect to your dream job opportunity and when you've got to do a job because you need the money, okay? I'll give you the song that's coming through. It actually has one of the best, openings to any song I've ever heard for quite some time, right? I think it comes from like either the 60s or 70s. I'm not really sure, but let me see. I want to say it's Barrett Strong, and it's money. The lyrics are, the best things in life are free, but you can give them to the birds and bees. I need money. That's what I want. Okay, so that's a very famous song. I mean, this could also just be an indication that you're going to hear that song, and in the next coming weeks and months, actually there is money coming in. Some of you may actually get a surprise bonus as well. Even if you feel that your company has not been doing so well, there may be a surprise incentive to stay at this time, because I feel like you are someone, you may feel that you are unappreciated or overlooked in some way, or even underestimated. But actually, I see that people do notice your skills, and they see you as an asset to whatever career environment you're currently working in. And I mean, this energy can also be entrepreneurial. So if you are already running your own business, I feel like you're a highly creative human being, and, you're following your heart. But I feel you've got some options right now to really see where you're going to take your career next. And that Seven of Cups is like, dream of all the potentials and possibilities and see which one that your heart really flutters with, the one that really sets your soul on fire with, because I feel like you have to make a major decision. And as soon as you make this decision, and you're going to make it in the next 6 weeks, I feel everything starts to take off for you, and it becomes really fast paced. There's some really awesome news here. Intuitively, you'll be guided to the right opportunity, okay? Now, I always say if you have a decision to make, really see yourself in each scenario, the sort of lifestyle that you aspire to, how you feel about that particular job. So, for example, if you're going for interviews at this time, because some of you are perhaps putting resumes out there, or if you're an entrepreneur, you may be looking at different sectors, different clients, really, because I'm getting the word niche. So it's almost like some of you may be specifying which part of the industry that you work in. So for example, if you are, I don't know, I'm just going to pull this out of the hat. If you're in the banking sector, for example, perhaps you're going to specify on certain assets. Maybe it's not the whole broad term of like banking. Or if, for example, you are someone who works in, I'm being given like pottery. So maybe you're someone who is highly creative, but you're going to specialize in creating pottery vases rather than cups and plates, and so it could be that you're really like looking at something niche at this time, and this could be a second stream of income, or it could be many streams of income, because the Seven of Cups is like allow your imagination to run wild. You're going to be involved in many artistic endeavors, and you're unleashing that passionate kind of side where you are flexible to new ideas, you're really open, you're going to be really productive, and you're being given opportunities to dream, and thoughts become things. So I feel like you are kind of like moving across boundaries. I know it sounds really weird, but I really get this sense of boundaries there. And sometimes too many choices can actually make us feel a little bit scattered. So I feel like you do have to make a decision here. Now, also, I'm getting an energy that you're going to have lots of stuff on, okay? I really feel like you're going to be spinning many plates in the next coming weeks. It's going to be a very busy month for you. And to some degree, I feel like you've got everything under control, but it's kind of like business as usual. So even if you are an entrepreneur or whether you work for a company, I feel like it's going to be like it has been for January, okay? I actually feel like there may be a lot of pressure on there. I do see that some of you, not all of you, but some of you may be hatching plans to launch something new, but you feel it's not ready yet. But in divine timing, you will feel when it is the right moment to launch, okay? Some of you are actually trying to find the balance, the work-life balance there, where you feel it's important to do things for you, to really, enjoy life, but at the same time to earn money. So I get like a harmonious dance, to be in the flow, to be flexible and be in the rhythm of life there, in order to juggle everything that you've got going on in your working environment, and also, to make sure that you enjoy yourself too. Now, I see some of you, you may feel a bit scattered because you have so many different things or different compartmentalized areas of whatever it is that you do. So I feel organization is really important. Focus, organization, because I feel like it is going to be very fast paced there. I feel that there is the potential for you to feel a little bit overwhelmed at the beginning of the month because you've got so much on. And this is not just in your career, but I feel personally you may have a lot going on as well. So it just feels like, you're just doing. But I feel some of you, you're looking forward to like a quick getaway in March is what I'm seeing with the Eight of Wands. Some of you may be taking like a weekend away or a quick trip somewhere, and you may be trying to tie up loose ends and get everything like in order before you actually head out there. Now, for some of you, you may feel that you've had a bit of bad luck in your career sector recently. You may see that there are some fluctuations going on in the sector that you work in. So you may be looking at the sort of not insecurity, the uncertainty of the job market, the changes that are going on. I feel like you are diligently working towards something. You put your whole heart and soul into whatever it is that you do, but you're acutely aware that perhaps if you're working for a company, that there are some changes going on, and you may feel that some things are a little bit up in the air, okay? Or you may feel like there's something that you're not told, but intuitively you can feel it. What I can see here is for some of you, again, not all of you, but I'm getting a strong energy. With the Ten of Pentacles there, if you work for a company, I feel that there may be an indication that perhaps the company didn't make as much money as you were hoping for, okay? And if you run your own business, for example, I feel there may have been a bit of a lull in your career sector, and you're a little bit nervous or a little bit unsure about how things are going to proceed. But I see that things are going to pick up for you, okay? I just feel there was a little bit of a lull because when the economy, of course, you don't need me to tell you this, but when the economy is floundering a little bit, people get very uncertain about spending. They start to save or keep their money, tight to their chest. They're like, nope, not going to spend. So then they kind of put spending on hold. And I feel people, as they moved into 2024, they were kind of doing that. But I feel as we move into March, April, I feel spending starts like being a little bit more freer, if that makes sense. So if you are an entrepreneur and you run your own business, I feel like you're going to see a bit of an increase in clients coming your way, or an increase in people wanting your services. Clients that will return again and again and again because you offer like an awesome service at whatever it is that you do, or even a product. So for some of you, and I'm getting a small energy here, some of you are going into the beauty sector. Okay, or you work in the beauty sector, and I feel that's actually going to start to lift off as well. I feel it was a bit quiet up until just before Valentine's Day is what I'm being given, but I'm doing this reading after Valentine's Day, but I feel it's definitely going to pick up now. So I don't know much about the beauty industry, but if you do work in the beauty industry, I definitely see that things take a turn for the better. I feel actually most industries take a turn for the better in March and April, even though there have been some money issues. There may be some merges. Some of you may hear about merges, or if you run your own company, you may think about partnering up with a brand or a sponsor there in order to increase finances, but also to get your message out there. Some of you may enlist the help of someone who markets your product, advertising. Some of you may even outsource some of the work because I feel like you will be overloaded there too. Now, anything that was in the resistance position, it will go into the upright. So you're taking a turn for the better. There's fortune here. I feel suddenly there is a bit of a windfall when it comes to money. So this feels very much like some sort of raise or promotion, especially with the King of Wands there. Bear in mind, it's all in the reverse at first, okay? So I feel round about the third week of March, towards the end of March as well, but third week for you in particular, there may be some news on the financial front regarding your career or your industry, where you see a pickup of extra money or some sort of opportunity to step into a leadership role, or even to, command more pay. So some of you may actually put your resume out there and be looking at your options. Some of you are definitely interviewing when you get this card, and you may be looking at new roles, new potentials. There is a choice. There are two opportunities coming in. Both of them are actually something that you'd love to do, okay? But one of them, I don't know, I'm going to pull a quick card on it. I feel one of them is your calling. And of course, you're going to take that. And I feel also your money will increase at this place, wherever it is. But also I feel you may be cautious about turning one down. So it could be that, like, 7 of Pentacles there. I'm just going to pull one more. Yeah, some of you, it's almost like some of you, there may be some new skills required in the new role, and it may make you feel a bit nervous or a little bit hesitant to take it because it may be completely out of your comfort zone, but actually I feel it's going to be thrilling for you. You're going to really enjoy it. And rather than like constantly checking in to see if you can save your pennies, I feel like in this new role, you're actually going to be able to save a lot more, okay? So that's what I've got coming through here, because it's attached to this 10 of Pentacles. Okay, and right now with the 7 of Pentacles, this can be an indication that you're checking in with where you are right now. You are trying to open yourself up to either a new strategy. So it could be that you're going to talk to your boss and say, hey, you know what? I love what I do. And, I see that there's some downsizing going on right now. Some extra work has come in and I totally get it. I love it. So thank you so much for helping me to grow within my role. But at the same time, I was wondering if there's any further money available for it, some extra income there, because I am picking up a lot of slack because I feel like you're super busy here, whatever this is. And you're going to be pleasantly surprised. Okay. It may at first only be a small increase, but there's something bigger yet to come. And if for some of you, especially if you're dealing with someone, because some of you beautiful Cancerians out there have been dealing with a very controlling kind of boss, someone who is very distant, really is not on your side, okay? May even sometimes abuse their position and, basically be inappropriate as well, is what I'm getting coming through. So hopefully none of you beautiful Cancerians are actually really dealing with that, but I can feel this energy. So perhaps someone out there is. I feel this person, they may try to delay the process of you getting a promotion or a raise or something like that. They may actually also take credit for you getting it, but actually it was all you and it's out of their hands anyway. They don't have the power to sign it off. They can only go to their boss and get it signed off for you. So it feels like it's higher up the chain that issues this promotion or raise. And for some of you, I feel like they didn't even ask. I feel it was coming to you because people in positions of power are seeing what you're capable of and want to elevate you. So this is if you work in a company. For example, if you work on your own, you're working as an entrepreneur, or you work in a family business, for example, some of you may feel that somebody, especially if you work in a family business, or if you have people who work with you in your entrepreneurship, you may be checking in with the amount of work that they're doing, and you may feel that there's someone who's been coasting a little bit, or there's someone who's been absent off quite a bit, okay? So you may address that. You may have to have a difficult conversation or an appraisal with someone in the next 6 weeks there as well. The Fool card indicates you want to have more fun in your everyday working circumstances. You want to be a little bit more spontaneous. That's really hard when you're in a position where you have to do the same sort of thing every day. So I feel some of you are trying to breathe a breath of fresh air into your current circumstances, especially if you don't want to leave, because that Knight of Cups tells me that a lot of you actually enjoy what you do. You may not enjoy everybody that you work with. You may not enjoy the environment to some degree, but also I feel the tasks, the responsibility. I feel there's a level of ownership here where you are utilizing your skill set to some degree. But with that Empress there, some of you, and again, as I said, it's not gender specific, some of you are feeling like you've come as far as you can with a certain role, and you're thinking a change is going to be good, but it also helps open up your resume a little bit more so that there is some growth there. Now, ultimately, I mean, that song that came through earlier, please listen out for it, because I feel it really is connected to this Ten of Pentacles, okay? Ten of Pentacles in the resistance position at first. Some of you are a little bit worried about finances. Some of you have, lots of family responsibilities at this time, and you're feeling a bit conflicted about being able to save. But I feel there is an increase in money coming in, and some of you are launching something new or having other opportunities that you are going to connect to in order to bring in more money. Also, I feel if you do work for the family business, I feel like there's a little bit more responsibility. Some of you may take over a part of that business from somebody else, or it just feels like you're getting more responsibility, and it's time. I just feel like it's time to hand over responsibility and, some sort of, it could be a new title that goes with this as well, but also I feel there is more money available to you as well, okay? Now, the Ten of Pentacles can also indicate some loneliness, okay? Especially in this position. It can indicate, especially if you're an entrepreneur, if you're doing your own thing, you're vibing at your own frequency, you're creating your business, you're really, setting yourself apart, you're connecting to trends and all of that. Sometimes being an entrepreneur, especially if you are your own boss, it can be hard to keep motivated. It can be hard, especially if you work by yourself. It can be isolating. So I feel some of you are trying to turn your working environment around in some way, because sometimes, it's really lovely to acknowledge that you are your own boss and you can work to your own time. But sometimes, 9 to 5 really means 9 to 5 for some companies. I've worked for companies in the past. It was like, you're going to be working from 9 to 5. And then I ended up working from 6 till 10. And it was just ridiculous. But they'd done so much downsizing that, there was just so much work to do that we just had to stay, and it was a case of, if you don't stay, you don't finish the work, and we needed to stay on top of the work. Otherwise, there was no point in being there. So, and there was no extra financial incentive until eventually they brought in a bonus scheme. But I feel for some of you, entrepreneurship, it can mean 24/7. So I feel finding the balance between the cutoff. Money is important, of course, but so is fun and experiencing life. So don't let life pass you by. I definitely see this Ten of Pentacles. It will turn into the upright, as I said, by the end of March, which means, you're capable of creating financial security, that you are actually going through a period of attracting more abundance, or you're putting yourself on a path to achieve more material gain here because you have the experience. So if there's a new role available, whether it's in a place where you currently work right now, or if there is a way of branching out if you're an entrepreneur, I definitely see that your experience is taking you to the top and leading you to attract more wealth there, more security. And some of you are going to be actually able to put a little bit extra in pensions, or you may be looking at pensions in some way. I mean, for some of you, there may be I'm just getting an energy of merging of pension companies. Okay, now this may not resonate with everyone, but I'm getting a merge of pension companies. So look out for that. I feel it's really important, especially during this time period. I keep saying it, my guides keep mentioning it as well. Make sure that you download monthly statements from any financial institutions, just to make sure you have documented proof of what you've got in your account, should there ever be any fluctuations in the market. But also, please be mindful of, companies merging, because sometimes, pensions, those providers, they are also merging with financial institutions. So, you'll be surprised that actually some savings that you have may be connected to your pension pot. And if it's over a certain amount, if you're truly lucky to have that, if anything was to happen there, it means, you lose a lot if there is a drop in the market. So just watch out for that. I don't know why it's coming through, but I have to mention it, okay? Because it is there. I don't see you missing out on anything. I feel intuitively you're a very, instinctive and very knowledgeable and savvy person, but I feel like you are currently in a position to secure yourself in your position, and I feel that's one of the aspects that you're looking at as well. I'm not here to make anyone paranoid. I actually feel like you're prepared, okay? But it's always good to be prepared rather than be taken unawares, okay? Now we do have that King of Wands. I feel, you have been exhausted recently. Even though we are in February, it just feels like, why is it such an effort? Especially as this is in the resistance position. It's like, why is it that the more you work, the more effort you put into things, it just feels like an uphill slog, and it just feels like the money is the same. The only thing is, the bills are increasing, the price of food is increasing, gas, if you have to drive to where you work, is increasing, the fares on the subway or the trains are increasing. Everything seems to be increasing but the wages. So I feel some of you are really feeling that pinch and trying to look at alternative options, maybe even to do two streams of income. And some of you may actually be utilizing the internet in some way. Maybe it's something that's creative that you do that is a passion project, and by putting it online, you can actually sell it to people and earn money from it. So it could be a platform that you connect to in the next coming weeks. Some of you are launching something, okay? It feels very creative, so I definitely see it's either something you make, or it could even be like a course of learning. Okay, because we have the High Priestess there, which is knowledge. It could be spiritual knowledge. Some of you may do sideline classes where you do yoga, Pilates, or counseling, or something that perhaps you want to get into long term, but you feel like you have to do it sporadically at first until it becomes like a long term thing. And I definitely see that it will. Okay, but also this King of Wands, it does turn into the upright, which means you're leading with your passions, you're inspired, lots of new ideas coming towards you, and you are aligning with changing your career in some way and reaching whatever it is that you aspire to achieve, okay? This is you having confidence, and this is about you stepping into either a leadership role, because that's what you are capable of here, but also it could be that you are being bold and daring to do something to secure your future. For some of you, it could be sponsorship deals. If you are into a career where there is sponsorship, I'm not really sure what that could be. I mean, it could be athletics or something sport related, for example. For some of you, if you are an artist leading with your passions, it could be that a major gallery sees your work and really wants to sponsor you. They want to take you on board. For some of you, I feel it could be like an advance on a project, like an in-house artist that they are given a bursary or an award where they are given a certain amount of money to create for the space. And I'm not sure why that's coming through, but it is. So it must relate to somebody out there. But ultimately, I feel this is about your ambition returning, your lust for life and for your career returning as well. But also, I feel like money is a little bit more of your focus. Whilst it's very important to do something that is emotionally fulfilling, where you feel like you're making your mark, I feel also now you're looking at finances and seeing that you truly deserve more than perhaps you've been getting at this moment in time. Because sometimes humans, we actually accept less than we truly deserve. I have a handful of friends who, they go up for things and they go, no, that's not enough. Or no, actually, my skill set is something that I worked really hard for, and I'm only accepting this sort of offer at this time. And if that's not the sort of offer that you can offer, then with respect, I'm going to bow out of the race. And they're very confident in that. And 9 times out of 10, they're hired because they actually value their skill set. And sometimes it's human nature when basically, a role needs to be filled. And there's going to be about 10 people, more, hundreds, lots of people looking for jobs right now. They all want to fill that role. And each person is going to come with something different, which is like, I want that role. I must have that role. They're manifesting that role. And they're all going for the interview. And sometimes it takes that bold person to say, you know what, I'd love this role, but I don't need this role because I know that I'm confident in my skill set. Now, I'm not saying turn anything down. What I see here is that you are capable of negotiating a better pay grade for yourself in a very diplomatic way, of course, but I see that you are able to do that. And sometimes, when something is in scarce supply because they value what they have to offer, people want it more, If you think about like actors in Hollywood and things like that. I always feel there should be a little bit more of balance when it comes to pay, for services perhaps that are here to help people. And of course, acting is art and it's here to help people and be cathartic and let people know that we're all going through very similar things. And it helps like an outpouring of emotions as well as identifying that some people are going through the same things as us. But also, people who work in healthcare, they need elevation when it comes to finances, people who work in the services who are there to save us whenever we need help in some critical situation. There needs to be a little bit more balance in terms of pay grade, and I really wish that it would occur across the world, but sadly it hasn't yet. But maybe one day in the future, hundreds of years from now, hopefully it will be. But I feel this is about you looking at your sense of value and saying, you know what, actually, I should have a little bit more than this. It's always the actor who, what I was saying just now, it's always the actor that's like, you know what, I don't want to do that project. And then suddenly people chase them for that project. It's almost like they want to have the control to change that person's mind. So there may be something in that where some of you, if you're deciding to leave, for example, and I'm not saying hold your current boss to ransom by saying, I'm leaving unless you give me a pay raise. I feel it's not about that. But I feel if you decide of your own volition that perhaps you've come to a plateau or a glass ceiling in your career right now, and you've asked to negotiate better terms and it has been denied, I feel like you may decide to leave in order to get a new opportunity. And suddenly, I feel they're going to try and give you an incentive to stay, that you're serious about moving away, and they recognize what you bring to the table of your career, and you are an asset. So I feel you're actually in a really good position starting with that Empress energy, okay? Sometimes we don't see that. I feel building confidence to sometimes say, you know what, I do a lot and I love it here. I just want to be able to have some room for maneuver so that I can grow in the company and elevate. And if that's not here for me right now, then it stands to reason that I'll want to take my skill set elsewhere. Everybody's looking for the same. So I feel they'll understand that, and they may even create a role that they can help you grow into so that they can keep you on their side. Okay. Now, for some of you with that Lover's card there, this is really about following your heart. And as soon as you make a critical decision about something that you want to do, suddenly the opportunities appear for you to be able to do it. Okay. So if you've been coasting for a while thinking, you know what, I kind of like it where I am, but it's not really stretching stretching me, or I'm not being given the amount of money that I should be getting. Some of you may decisively say, you know what, that's it. I'm going to look for other opportunities, and you put your resume out there. Suddenly there's going to be a wave of opportunities coming in, and you may look at the first lot and say, no, that's not what I'm looking for. That's not it. That's not it. You're telling the universe, I value my skill set. And the universe says, okay, let's up the ante. Let's bring in opportunities that are going to really tempt you, that are going to be really good for your true north and your life's purpose path. The Lover's card is matching the vibration of your heart, and you're starting with, cups, so you're starting with that Knight of Cups there, which means you're looking at what it is you dream to aspire to. You're looking at the effort that you've put in and where you want to take your career. And, this is the universe delivering whatever it is that you want, because the Lover's card at grassroots, it's really about a partnership with spirit to say, what is in your heart? What are you passionate about? What is it do you desire? And it shall be so. So I definitely see that some of you are connecting to that. Now, of course, there may even be, and this is, I know it sounds really far-fetched, but it's coming through, so I have to mention it. Some of you may work at a company where an ex either shows up for an interview or shows up for work, or, comes in for a meeting. So there could be like a moment where it's a little bit awkward. I'm just going to pull a card. There's this energy of you like trying to, especially if it didn't go so well. I mean, for some of you, it could be that you divorced this person, or, there was a high level commitment there and you separated from this person, and there was just like a little bit tense energy. And I feel like you may see this person, or they come into your work. I feel like they may not, unless they know that you work there. But if you're going for a new opportunity, you may actually go to a place for a new role, an interview, and somehow bump into an ex, or your ex works there or is freelancing there or something. So that's coming through, but that's not going to resonate with everyone. That's certainly precise there. Yeah, so that's coming through. But also, I'm getting two other energies, okay? One is I'm seeing an image of a JCB digger, okay? One of those big construction vehicles. Now, some of you, of course, you may work in construction, so it could be that you are, going to get some new equipment, for example. If I unpack that image, it could also be that some of you are working in a company, or even if you're an entrepreneur, whether you're working from home or you've hired out an office, you may find that there are some DIY or construction events going on around, and they're really loud. So you may be a little bit cranky that it's just super loud. So there may be some restructure going on, and it just is hard to concentrate, is what I'm getting. But also I feel this could be you excavating or investigating alternative opportunities, looking closer at details. But also I'm getting energy that some of you may find out something or unearth something that you were not meant to know, like a secret. Okay, so it could be that, I don't know, suddenly someone from the 5th floor has stopped coming into work. So you may actually find out that they were fired for something, misconduct, or that they were, made redundant, or, I feel like you find out a piece of gossip or something that you weren't meant to be aware of. That's coming through strongly. But actually, I feel that in particular doesn't impact you in any shape or form. It's just something that you are made aware of. But also, I feel there is someone here in your energetic field, whether you're an entrepreneur or, whether you are working for a company, it feels like someone tries to cover up a mistake. Okay, and they may try to blame someone else. So, it could be a boss. I feel like this person will be found out. And of course, if it's you, my beautiful Cancerians, because I can't tell right now, I can't imagine that you try to cover up a mistake. But if you do, I feel like, just to let you know, it will be uncovered, okay? Many, many years ago when I was in a certain career, I made a big boo-boo in my career. I sent an email to somebody else. It was a personal email, and I sent it to somebody else. I actually sent it to one of the big bosses in the company, and then I was literally thinking, why hasn't, because I was sending it at that point to my partner, and I was like, why isn't it that my partner isn't messaging back? They said they literally messaged me back, and I was like, okay, that's really weird. And then suddenly I had this moment like, oh my gosh, I sent the email to the wrong person. And then I was like running up the stairs, trying really hard to like see what I could do, like damage limitation. What could I do to, because I obviously couldn't get into that person's emails. There was no way I could do that. But I thought, how am I going to do this? And suddenly, one of the bosses just called out my name and was like, oh, do you know who this person is? And I was like, because we all had like a general work email that we all tapped into. And in that moment, I froze and I was like, no. And I thought, what are you doing? You're going to be caught out. Don't say no. Just own it. Own it. What are you doing? And I was like, no. And like the boss looked at me really suspiciously. Like they knew it was probably me. And I was like, anything else? And they were like, no, that's it. And then I went downstairs and it was like 5 minutes. So I was like, I can't do this. I got to go up there and I got to tell them it was me. And so I spoke to a colleague and was like, oh my gosh, it was me. And she was like, you know what you got to do. And I was like, yeah, I know what I got to do. So I had to go up and sort of say, I'm really sorry. But in the moment I panicked and I said it wasn't me, but actually it was me. And he was kind of annoyed, but at the same time, he was like, I'm glad you came and said, you know, your piece. But I feel this person that you're dealing with, I feel like they're not going to like own it. And they'll be caught, but they'll still kind of try to deny it, is what I'm seeing here. And they may try to deny it and blame someone else. I don't see that that blame is going to be on you, my beautiful Cancerians, but you may witness or you may know that actually it was them, and you may have to decide whether you be a whistleblower or not. So choice is yours there. That's coming through. That's a very intense one, let's put it that way. Please let me know in the comments box below if that's you, okay, and how it works out, because I'm feeling this very like intense energy, and because I've been there before, I mean, I have to be like upfront. So even though I panicked in the moment, it was like 5-10 minutes before I went, it was me, I can't believe it, I said no. I had to just like tell it all how it was. But this person, I feel they're going to like fight it to the end and say, nope, wasn't me. Nope, don't know anything about it. And you're like, you little liar. You know it was you. So I feel there's something there. Okay, so just watch out for that. Now, the main energy, let's put it that way. Oh, yeah, I just wanted to say, if you're an entrepreneur, okay, and you run your own business, this could be a client who said that they've sent something or they've done something and they haven't. Or if you are getting something shipped to you, for example, it may not arrive and you may have to contest it and say, actually, I didn't get it. And I feel they actually made a mistake about the delivery, and either they sent it somewhere else or they didn't ship it and it's delayed. And they may say, oh yeah, it's in the mail. And you're like, well, could you give me a tracking number or something? And they're like, you know what? There's nothing attached to your account at this time because they didn't send it. So I feel they won't own up, but you do catch them in something. Okay, so again, I'll move on from that energy. Ultimately, the Queen of Swords is someone who is super organized, someone who is being direct about money, okay, because that Ten of Pentacles is showing up twice. That tells me you're attracting more wealth, okay, and you're utilizing your skill set in order to achieve your financial goals. But also, the Queen of Swords is someone who gets to negotiate a better deal, okay? So some of you are thinking about launching something as well that is going to be financially very lucrative, and I feel like you're in business mode. Okay, even though you are highly creative and you actually are very sensitive, I feel, you know, you're going to be so organized, so direct. You're going to be very straightforward and precise about what it is that you want, and thoughts become things. And I feel like, you know, you're going to have to be quite organized anyway, because it's going to be such a fast-paced environment for you over the next coming weeks there. But I feel like instinctively, you know what to do. I feel like you're doing a great job, and there's going to be someone who tells you that you're doing a great job. But also I feel on a personal level, you know, you're creating some sort of strict budget there. You're being very clever with your resources, and you're stretching, you know, what you have. You're making a little go a long way, whilst at the same time being able to save as well. Now, we do have that High Priestess energy, and this is to work in silence, okay? For some of you, not all of you, my beautiful Cancerians, this is like a secret work affair or a secret crush, okay? Which I feel, if you have a secret crush, I feel this person may actually send you a flirtatious message. Or if you're already involved in something in the working environment, I feel like you may have to make a decision about that. I actually see that one of you it just feels like one of you have decided to find an alternative opportunity. There's still love there. I don't feel like the relationship is changing. I feel that one of you is deciding to leave, and it's kind of like nice that you're leaving to go to a new opportunity, but at the same time, you're kind of like, I'm going to be moving away from my partner, and you know, it's a bit sad that that part is coming to an end, but you're still going to be with your partner. So I feel it still happens there. Now, let me just pull a quick card before I move forward with this. Thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels. Can you please guide? Some of you are thinking about a secret partnership, or you're setting up like a strategy to partner with a different company or launch something. I mean, there's a Queen of Pentacles here. Well, actually, I feel more that you're thinking about doing something that you love from home, because the Queen of Pentacles is sticking to your plan. It's about you, you know, committed to more prosperity or to multiply your finances. So it could be like moonlighting as well. So you may have a different job or two jobs there. But I actually see the majority of your resources could come from some sort of home project or something that's creative that will bring in more finances. But this is a card of abundance. It's a card of conserving what you've already got, protecting what you earn, but also being capable of earning more wealth, okay? So I definitely see that you're actually going to increase your finances in some way, but also it's not just for you. You're not being greedy. I feel, you know, you extend that financial resources to your family, to your friends, and I feel, you know, there's an energy here of you creating more so that you can gain more security. Now we do have the Judgment card. So this can indicate that, you know, over the next coming weeks and months, you have a big decision to make. You're really checking in with yourself, doing a lot of soul searching. You're opening yourself up to a new strategy, or you're at a crossroads in some way where you have to decide to either let go of something to embrace something new, or, you know, you're trying to launch a passion project and you know exactly what you're called forward to do. But the Judgment card is like, you know, a rebirth. So it could be after a period of feeling that you're really exhausted, you're really busy, and you just can't catch a break. Suddenly there is a lucky break where everything starts to work for you and not against you, and everything's working perfectly the way you'd hoped it to. But I also feel like you're connected to your destiny at this time, and you're called to leave like stuff that isn't working behind. Now, this could be like outdated practices in working. It could be old filing systems. It could even be that some of you, and I don't like this message, but anyway, some of you may have to like buy a new laptop, or you may have to have a computer serviced in some way, because I feel that perhaps something has come to the end of its run. Okay, so I mean, it could even be like a phone if you use a phone for business. But in a company, for example, there may be new computer software that is launched in some way, and it feels a little more efficient in the way that it's running. I feel there's a few teething problems. So if you're getting like new phone devices or new computer programs or new laptops or whatever, I feel like there may be a teething problem at first, but it all gets resolved like in the same day. So I feel it's nothing major there either. Now, we do have the Eight of Wands. The Eight of Wands means quick movement, major transformation, but also you influencing your circumstances to get the best out of your career. Some of you are really eager to, you know, focus on your goals. It just feels like your vitality and passion is returning, and there is really great news attached to this. So there's news rushing into you around about the third week of March is what I keep seeing here. It is financially related. Okay, maybe this is the call that you've been waiting for quite some time is what I'm being given. And some of you are tying up loose ends of projects in order to be able to travel or take that quick trip. And you may even have an epiphany on that quick trip about your career, because once you take a break, you take a moment to step back and you see things from a bird's eye view. So you may be actually coming back after a trip really inspired with new ideas and how to implement those new ideas to get the best out of your working environment, okay? But ultimately, with that Empress energy, you're starting really strong, which means you're very talented, very gifted. You're going to be super busy, but in a good way, where you're like focusing on deadlines. I feel some of you are working behind the scenes on something, or there's a little bit of a hush-hush secret energy on something. But also, I feel that there's an opportunity for you to step up in some way, okay? And I feel like you're going to grab that opportunity and run with it. So we have opening. Bloom where you're planted. You know, as I said, I feel like you kind of like what you do. You may not like the environment, you may not like the people sometimes, but I feel the tasks, the responsibilities, I feel like you own it and you are, a real pro at what you do. But now you're looking at options to expand in some way. And it says, bloom where you're planted. Use your gifts, nurturing, spirit work, plan unfolding. I mean, with the High Priestess there, I'm not sure if I mentioned, but some of you may do spiritual work. It could be like yoga, Pilates, Reiki. It could be mindfulness. It could be something that you do that helps others as well as you. But also, I feel these may be a way to explore your spiritual gifts by perhaps launching an entrepreneurship in that arena as well. We've also got nourish. Really important because you got the Knight of Cups there. Feed your heart and mind. And right livelihood, best job, giving, satisfied, and full life. Okay, so this is really about getting the best of all worlds when it comes to your career. And I do see like a possible promotion here for you, as I said. And as soon as you get into that role, it is going to be busy, busy, busy. I'm actually seeing a B right now. You're going to be super busy. But I feel like you're going to be in the flow of doing and you're actually going to really enjoy it. And we've also got fertile, okay? Now, because we've got fertile and we've got the Empress energy, some of you may be thinking about when you want to go into maternity leave if you're currently pregnant, for example. I actually see that you may change your maternity leave date. That's a bit of a tongue twister. You may change your maternity leave date and make it a little bit earlier because I feel I just get an energy that baby's going to be born early. Okay, so that's what I'm getting there. So yeah. Some of you may have felt a little bit under pressure as well, but I feel like you've got this. I feel like you're super organized. You're on top of things there as well. And it says here, hatching new plans, inception, creativity, reborn, source, nest egg, and flourish. I mean, to get two cards that are all about flourishing, but also to get this energy of hatching new ideas, new plans. You've got the Empress there, that's birthing new ideas, but also there's this energy of creativity, productivity as well, and to have your energy sort of reborn. Some of you may even reimagine your career in a different way so that you keep it spontaneous and fresh. So I definitely see that it's kind of like sustaining effort, maintaining, the momentum in your career in some way. But also I feel like there are some changes that you will have to be flexible with. These could be policies, rules, regulations, documentation. I feel like you're going to have a lot of like administrative tasks to do as well. But I feel like you're in the flow and I feel, you're on top of things completely. Now we've got one more. They want me to go one more. Okay. So we have rose and we have wings. Okay. So we've got feather, abundance, easy money, divine intervention, light worker, air related, undecided, and travel. Okay. Now air related, there could be like a quick trip that I mentioned earlier, but it could also indicate the internet because air is connected to the ether and it means that you could do some really great stuff online, even if you're doing something creative that actually can be put online, or you may be actually using AI in order to create something. It depends on who you are and how you can utilize that. I have no clue on how to do these things, but all the cool kids are doing all that stuff and creating some incredible things that sometimes you're like, is that real? That looks real. I can't believe it's not real. I mean, even some of those videos that have people in it, and you're like, normally back in the day, you could tell like that's like CGI. But now it's like, I can't tell. And that is a very dangerous concept that we're moving into. But yeah, it's out there. Some of you may be working on something like that, or you're looking at how to get into something like that in order to make your mark. Also, we've got spiral, out of control, but it's in a good way. It's climbing the ladder, upward trend, revisiting a job, promotion, connections. Okay. Now, I did mention at the beginning, some of you may be revisiting part of something that you do. Also, I feel, if you go too quickly, because I feel like there may be a lot of pressure in the next coming weeks of you getting stuff done. If you go too quickly, you may miss something. You may have to revisit it. But some of you may actually revisit a sector of like a job that you used to enjoy, for example, or I feel like you're just revisiting a really good time in your career sector, or things start to take off again and you feel like you're in the flow of good old times, times that you perhaps missed for a little while. Now we've also got rose. Blooming where you're planted. You got the rose there. Roses, they kind of indicate sweet reward. It says financial relief, being content, loving care, supportive role, job security, and growing. So I definitely see you growing through the role that you have already. And or some of you are actually deciding to leave and go on to something new. But I feel the majority energy I have is someone like holding on until either bonus time comes around and then you're moving on, or if it's like a new title, or it's almost like there's an incentive to stay at first and then you're leaving if you decide to leave, but you're leaving of your own accord. And for those beautiful Cancerians who have currently left a working environment or have found themselves out of a job and are searching, I definitely see that there are two major opportunities coming in. You'll choose intuitively the right one, and I feel like you'll staircase quite quickly in that career because people are appreciating your skill set. And we also have wings, rising above, money issues, businesses taking off, profit, spiritual work, life purpose, and mission. And that definitely came out in this reading. So I'm glad that it's kind of like validated some of the energy that was popping up there as well. Okay. Thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels. Can you please guide my beautiful Cancerians? Now, some of you have a real big decision to make. In silence, wisdom will come towards you. You will make the right decision for you. Okay. Now, we do have the angel. Now this, it says here, angels watching over me. So you are protected and redirected. If you feel like you've missed out on something, or there was a rejection there for something, or even if you feel like you're not ready to launch something, I feel like you'll be guided to the right opportunity. Remember, rejection is protection and redirection, or even like you're being protected because you feel it's not the right time. And when the time is right, then you're going to be redirected to the right opportunity or the right moment. We also have an eye, okay? Keeping an eye on things. Also I just get this energy, and I mentioned it earlier, you seeing something that either you're like unearthing something that perhaps is not meant for your eyes, or you witness someone like making a mistake and trying to cover it up. I feel like you see them, you see through them as well. Intuitively, you know that this person will be caught, but you may be called to be a whistleblower on something, and it's your decision if you want to get involved in that, because I feel it could get messy. Okay, I would never say stay silent on anything, but I feel like you're going to do the right thing ultimately in the long term. But also I feel this is about your inner vision, seeing the future, knowing that you're going to be successful. And I feel this is about, keeping your eyes peeled for new opportunities. And when you get the ring, this can also indicate romance in the working environment, but rings, when it comes to career, they tend to mean contracts. So some of you may be signing new contracts or opening yourself up to a new position where you have to sign a document and merge with a new partnership. I also feel if you're partnering up in a business with people that you really care about, family, perhaps friends, make sure you have a contract just so that you're all on the same page. It doesn't mean that you mistrust each other. It just means that, you all know what is required of you when the moment arises. Also, this can indicate that you really are a gem under pressure, because, it's a simulated diamond there. It's not. It's a cubic zirconia, I think it's called. I can't afford to have a diamond in there. If I had a diamond, I'd be wearing it. But anyway, this ring, it's kind of symbolic of, under pressure, you really shine, and, you come to the fore, and you really are a pillar of strength in your career as well. Okay. I would say also, if you are in a company where there is a merge, or some of you, if you're an entrepreneur and you're deciding to merge businesses, or you are deciding to sell your business, make sure you have a contract, or make sure you have it in writing. See the fine print, because I feel it's really important. If you go too fast, you may miss something. Take time to ruminate on it, really make sure all the clauses that you want in that contract are there, they are present before you sign anything or give anything away, because I feel now is the time. You don't want to miss that opportunity, because I feel there is something here about if you go too fast, you may miss something. So I'll leave it like that. I hope something resonates in that reading for you, my beautiful Cancerians. It was very complex, this one. If it does, please like and subscribe to my channel. Completely free for you. All you have to do is press a little bell that lets you know when I update my next message. It lets me know that you resonate with the reading, which is so important for me too. Thank you so much, my beautiful Cancerians, and love and light.